If you really want to see what the future holds, you don't need a crystal ball. Nope. You just need to follow the money. So in this explainer, we're going to get a sneak peek inside the playbook of some venture capitalists. We're looking at the small, really innovative companies they're funding right now to get a glimpse of the trends that are just around the corner.
I know, it sounds like the beginning of a really weird joke, right? But the answer is actually fascinating, and it paints this incredibly clear picture of where our world is headed. So come on, let's connect the dots.
The thing that ties them all together is that they're all part of one single forward-thinking investment portfolio. See, each one of these companies represents a really calculated bet on what our world is going to look like and what we're going to need or want in the very near future. Specifically, they're all being funded by what's called a micro VC. Just think of it like this. It's a special kind of fund that places bets on really, really young companies. The ones with the bold, maybe unproven ideas that could just become the next big thing. It is all about spotting that high growth potential before anybody else does. The fund we're looking at today, it's putting a cool $25 million to work. Now, that's not just a number on a screen. That's a serious injection of fuel for these early-stage companies. It's like strapping a rocket to their backs, all aimed at building a piece of our future. So what do these investors expect for taking on that kind of risk? Well, they're targeting a return of 3.7 times their initial investment. And that number, that tells you everything you need to know. You're not just looking for a small profit. You are absolutely swinging for the fences, betting on technologies that could literally change an entire industry. Okay, so where is all this money going? Well, the first huge theme is sustainability. Let's take a look at the companies that are trying to solve some of our biggest environmental and infrastructure problems. First up, we've got Earth Vision. This company is trying to solve the plastics crisis right at the source by just replacing single-use materials altogether. And here's the part that makes investors sit up and pay attention. The founders are actual pioneers from industry giants like Intel and Chevron. I mean, that kind of backing tells you the technology is probably the real deal. Now, here's an idea that is just brilliant because of how simple it is. We all know wildfires often spread by jumping from tree to tree, but they also ignite utility poles. So FlameCap created a simple wrap to fireproof them. It's a really practical, almost low-tech solution to a massive, high-stakes problem, and you can bet utility companies are already lining up to buy it. Next is Rayton Solar, and this company is tackling two of the biggest energy hogs of our time. They're developing these ultra-thin solar wafers that are designed to power those energy-hungry AI data centers, and at the very same time, speed up the charging for electric vehicles. And this chart right here, this tells you exactly why investors are so excited. The projected growth for Rayton's market is a mind-blowing 49% compound annual growth rate. Now, compare that to the 5.4% for traditional silicon. That huge gap, that's exactly what investors mean when they talk about explosive potential. And finally, in our sustainability group, we have Elysion. This company is making water purification incredibly easy. Seriously, forget all those expensive, bulky filters. Their solution is just 2 little drops in a glass of water, and boom, unwanted chemicals are instantly eliminated. This is bioscience made so simple that anyone can use it.
Okay, let's switch gears and dive into our second big theme, the AI-powered future. And look, this isn't about some sci-fi movie concept. This is about how artificial intelligence is becoming a real practical tool that's reshaping entire industries, starting with one of the most important ones, healthcare.
Meet Ethica Meds. Their mission is, well, it's incredibly ambitious. They want to use AI to tailor pharmaceuticals to individuals. The goal here is to get way beyond one-size-fits-all prescriptions and make sure that every single person gets the exact right drug for their unique biology. I mean, this is the very definition of personalized medicine. So, from medicine, we go to business operations, and this is EverReps. They create what they call AI-driven digital humans. And no, we're not talking about those clunky chatbots you argue with online. These are sophisticated agents that can actually handle complex customer service and sales tasks. And the real game changer, you can get them trained and deployed in just a matter of hours. And what's the actual impact here? Well, for a large company, using this kind of tech isn't about small efficiencies. We're talking about savings in the hundreds of thousands, or in some cases, even millions of dollars. It's a total transformation of how a company's front office works. All right, Our final theme focuses on, well, on us, the consumer. These are companies that are building brand new brands that cater to our modern lifestyles, everything from what we drink to how we travel and even what we watch. Let's start with Red Leaf Coffee. Now, this is not just another coffee shop. This is a proven concept built on organic, sustainable products that's already pulling in $8.5 million in revenue from just 8 locations. And with buyout offers already on the table, it just goes to show you the massive value in getting a modern consumer brand exactly right. And this kind of innovation is happening all over, with brands carving out their own unique little niches. First, you have Dining Empire, which is creating entire media franchises around food and lifestyle. Then there's Overnight Travel Dags, targeting the high-end luxury market for short trips. And finally, Petalicious, a brand that started with a single patented sandal and has now built an entire beauty and wellness ecosystem around it. Wow, okay. Fireproof poles, AI doctors, luxury coffee. We have covered a lot of ground. So what's the big picture here? What does it all mean when you finally connect all these dots? When you take a step back and look at it all, you see that these 10 seemingly random companies, they're not random at all. They fall so neatly into 3 major trends that are shaping our future: that critical push for sustainability, the deep, deep integration of AI into our daily lives, and the endless reinvention of the modern consumer brand. And here it is, the ultimate takeaway. Following this early stage money shows that this kind of groundbreaking innovation isn't just happening in one little sector. It's happening everywhere, across the board. From the massive planetary scale of our world's health, right down to the small personal scale of our own daily habits. And that leaves us with one final question for you. Seeing these huge bets being placed on sustainability, on AI, and on new consumer experiences, which version of the future are you most excited to see become our reality?